I'm Tom Graham, Fox News Radio.
A stalled out front will be the focal point for additional scattered shower storms for the rest of this weekend. For the overnight hours, scattered shower storms will taper off a bit. We are going to see areas of fog, low 71 degrees. Early fog for your Sunday. Then a straight shower thunderstorm possible early on. Better chances for scattered shower storms from late afternoon through the evening hours are high 92. Straight shower thunderstorms through the evening, then mainly clear overnight. Moves down to 71. I'm Todd Borton, the Weather Channel, Talk Radio 680, WCBM.
It's brand new and improved. The WCBM mobile phone app powered by AirCast. Now available for download for your Droid, Apple, and Amazon devices. Stream WCBM anywhere on your smartphone or tablet. Check out audio on demand to listen to your favorite local shows. I do. Text, email, or call your favorite local shows. Follow WCBM on Twitter and like us on Facebook. It's out with the old and in with the new.
These two,
download the WCBM 680 new mobile phone app today and stay connected.
The views and opinions you hear on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and WCBM.com are not necessarily those of the owners, management, employers, and advertisers of WCBM.
Now more of Speak Your Mind with Derek Stroman and Jimmy Zane on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Yeah.
This is Talk Radio 680 WCBM. Time now for Speak Your Mind. Here's your hosts, Derek Stroman and Jimmy Zane.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Speak Your Mind, where listeners like you can speak your mind. Give us a call at 410-922-6680 or call toll-free at 1-800-922-6680. That's 410-922-6680 or 1-800-922-6680. Phone lines are open now. I'm Dan Cosgrove, filling in for Jimmy Zane. This program is brought to you in part by Vino's Barn Liquors, located at 3811 North Point Road in Dundalk, Maryland. Visit them for all your liquor needs. Why pay more when you can go to Vino's Barn Liquors in Dundalk, Maryland? To view previous episodes of this program, search YouTube for Speak Your Mind WCBM. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Speak Your Mind, Mr. Derek Stroman.
All right. Welcome back, panel. P. Hillgutter and Dan Cosgrove. Thank you for that excellent introduction. Hello out there in WCBM Radio Land. I am your host, Derek Stroman, and it has been an interesting night so far. It's been an excellent Saturday evening, to say the least here. Been busy. I actually had to rush to the station from Poplar Inn in Dundalk, where I have a comedy show that was going on, and it was a pleasant surprise, pleasant turnout. I couldn't believe it actually went the way it was going. I mean, a lot of times, folks out there, when you do shows and you're involved in entertainment like myself, things don't always turn out exactly the way you like them to. You predict 100 people to show up, and sometimes 40 people show up. Very seldom do you predict a lot of people to show up, and they do. Or, it exceeds your expectations. And that's kind of what happened tonight, and I'm very, very happy about that. So that's pretty much what I want to reach out to you guys out there and tell you that, sometimes, things do work the way you plan. Sometimes, if you draw it up correctly, the plan will develop exactly the way you drew it up. So that's why it's important to never fall back, never fall short on prepping yourself, planning ahead. I'm very big on things like that. And in this particular case, it worked out. Again, that is the Poplar Inn in Dundalk, a very fine restaurant. I am a resident of Dundalk, and very proud of that town. I'm a coach in the community. I actually coach in high school football now for Dundalk High. That is the Dundalk Owls football team. Very proud to be a part of that organization. So, that's Ron Savage is our producer, and he's in there, and he's saying, "Okay, hun, okay, hun." That's some of the dialect in Dundalk. If you could hear him like I can, he would be sounding pretty what is that? Dundalkian? Is that
Dundalkian?
Dundalkian? Is that the proper way to say that? All right.
I have no idea. Maybe I could pick it up on the new Star Trek movie.
Yeah, that looks pretty good, by the way.
You know,
looks like it's going to be good. I'm into Star Trek and the captain.
Kirk.
Captain Kirk. But then I was a real big Jean-Luc Picard type of Star Trek fan. Lieutenant Worf, and Data.
Oh man,
all of them. And number one, you gotta love somebody named Number One, who's really your second in command. Number one.
Right.
That's cool, man. But thanks for chiming in to speak your mind. I will open the phone lines. They're always open, but they're open on this particular evening because we need you guys to call in and help us select a winner. I don't know how often you guys listen to the Speak Your Mind show, but last week we had Jessica Broadkin and Jada Chameleon, two very prominent comedians, call in and battle it out a little bit. We need you callers to call up and let us know who you thought won that little skirmish between the two of them. And, it wasn't, it's not a physical battle. It's a verbal battle. And it depends on what you consider a battle. The number to call in here to the station is 410-922-6680. Okay, so give us a call. Please do. But for right now, I'm going to turn it over to the gentleman to the right of me, Mr. Dan Cosgrove. Why don't you tell us what is on your mind?
What is on my mind? Many things, but I thought that I would ask the listeners if they believe that our local news outlets are manipulating us instead of informing us. And I'm going to ask the two gentlemen in this room if they've noticed something that I notice all the time, and also the listeners out there. When I flip through the channels and watch the news on Channel 2, 13, and 11, and to a lesser extent Fox 45, I often see the same stories being reported in the same sequence, often with the same language, and even with identical images between news agencies that are supposed to be independent of one another. I think this has led to voices both on the political left and right claiming dissatisfaction with local news media. Furthermore, political pundits seem completely perplexed by the decreasing number of people reading the Baltimore Sun. I'll argue that readers or viewers don't want their politics force-fed to them and have turned away from news outlets that seem to be attempting to manipulate us. And on a broader level, it does need to be mentioned that 6 corporations own and control 90% of all the media in the United States. So I ask again, are local news outlets manipulating us instead of informing us? Give us a call at 410-922-6680 and speak your mind. Let us know what you think. Are we being manipulated or informed? And I want to ask you gentlemen a question. Have you ever turned on a news channel and have they ever said, we have a retirement crisis in the United States?
No, I've never heard
a retirement crisis?
We have a retirement crisis in the United States.
Okay.
And it is not being reported on. And I don't want to...
I agree.
That it's not being reported on. Now, to their... PBS had one show on it on Frontline, and when I saw this, I called all my friends and I said, "This is what I've been talking about." And I don't want to talk about the retirement crisis, but I'm just going to give you one example. We in the United States have essentially gone to the 401k system.
Right.
Okay? And what happens is, in the 401k system, we as workers put in 100% of the money. We take 100% of the risk. But when it's all said and done, we get the short end of the stick. The people that are managing the money make much more than the individual investor. And what it is it's a shell game. Okay? And if you look at a 401k plan, they're characterized by two things: high expense ratios, which nobody talks about or looks at, and very few choices within your individual 401k plan. Now, that we can save all that for another time to talk about. But why is the mainstream media not reporting on this?
I got you. No, if I may, can I chime in on that?
Certainly.
Okay. Now, you're right. It is like three-card Monty. Now, keep in mind what happened in Greece. This is the issue. There are more baby boomers than there are new generation, descendants.
Right.
So let's just say, hypothetically, if all of those baby boomers decided to retire soon within the next 2-3 years, what's going to happen to the economy?
It's going to go into the toilet.
Exactly. That's what happened in Greece.
Right.
If you know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all really don't do your due diligence on your homework and remember the history as far as what happened. That could happen in the United States.
Right. But why is the mainstream media not mentioning this at all? And like I said, if you turn on channel 2, 11, and 13 and watch the news broadcast, it's the same stories and the same sequences with the same language describing the event and often with the same images.
It's due to manipulation.
Right. So is the mainstream media trying to manipulate us or inform us? I say they're trying to manipulate us.
Yeah, not really the mainstream media. It's basically the puppet master behind the mainstream media, the big boss.
And that's why I mentioned that 6 corporations, only 6, own 90% of the media in the United States, own and control. And the problem is that the people that sit on the boards of those 6 corporations also sit on boards of other corporations that have financial concerns, and they don't want certain things talked about.
Exactly.
So again, I ask the callers, call in at 410-922-6680. Are we being manipulated by our local media? I think we are. For example, I'll give you another example. I was watching the news and they said, Donald Trump in his speech mentioned that murders are up 60% in Baltimore. And the way that the news reported it, it was, oh my God, Donald Trump is putting our city down. Isn't he a bad guy? Instead of saying, it's true what he just said. And then as soon as I heard that, I said to myself, well, how come we have to wait for Donald Trump to say this before we're aware of it? How come 2, 11, and 13 aren't saying, hey, murders in Baltimore City this year are up 60%? I think that the local media has a news blackout on certain things because they want us to see, particularly the city, in certain ways that may not be truthful. So again, I'm asking, are we being manipulated through the choice of the subject matter that is talked about? So we have one example where we have a retirement crisis coming up in the United States. They're not even mentioning it. Then we have a news blackout where they are not reporting that murders are up 60% in Baltimore City this year. Because remember, what was the narrative last year after the riots? We have a spike. It's just a temporary thing because the police took a knee. It's just a temporary thing. Well, guess what? Here we are. What's it? A year and a half later, and violence is continually increasing. So
it's all connected,
right? So they're blacking out certain stories. They're blacking out certain information. Again, this all leads to my thought that we are being manipulated by the local media.
Yeah, it's all connected, definitely.
It's
itinerary.
Agree.
Right. So
it's an itinerary. You got to understand. It's just like what you
economical strategy.
Yeah. It's just like a teacher coming in to start her school day. She has a list of things, her curriculum, what she wants to go over for that day, or what he would like to go over with his or her students for that day. It's what it is. It's an itinerary.
But we live in a democracy, and one of the cornerstones of our democracy is that we have a press that keeps a vigilant eye on those in power, and I will argue that those in power have co-opted that entity that's supposed to be watching them and has turned it around to manipulate us. So callers, call in. We have to go to a break now, but call 410-922-6680 and give us your thoughts on this. Is the mainstream media, particularly the local media, manipulating us?
Yeah, and we'll talk a little more about this after the break. We will be right back, WCBM listeners. Hi, I'm Derek Stroman from the new talk show called Speak Your Mind. I have a great show lined up for you with my co-host Jimmy Zane and my featured guest host P. Hill Gutter in his segment called A Moment of Realness. On Speak Your Mind, we're asking you to do just that. I have a wonderful lineup of comedians, skits, and just a ton of interesting topics to keep listeners interested in our show. We'll have trivia questions, prize giveaways, gift certificates, and so much more. Speak Your Mind is backed by my company called Stroman Entertainment, which showcases a whole slew of entertainment, from comedy to music bands, murder mystery to drag queen shows, and also available to hire for private parties, weddings, and so on. This is not just entertainment, this is Stroman Entertainment. Log on to my website, StromanEntertainment.com. Remember to listen to Speak Your Mind on Talk Radio 680 WCBM, Saturdays, midnight to 1 a.m.
This is Michael David from Seattle. I'm 51 years old, and 6
when you
months
hear
ago,
me, I'm on the air.
I started taking Andro 400.
Oh, you were? Anytime you hear me, I'm on the air, because that's why when I got
my waist went from size 38 to size 32. I have more energy, and I look and feel 20 years younger. And now my wife tells me I have to take Andro 400.
Hi, this is Ron Johnson from Utah. After 10 weeks of taking Andro 400, I lost 13 pounds, and my waist went from 36 to 33. That was 8 years ago. I continue to take Andro 400 and maintain my weight at 172. Gained muscle and energy. I'm 63 now and feel better than I have in 30 years.
Andro 400, the natural way to increase testosterone, lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel great. Try Andro 400, the safe, effective, affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
So I'll say welcome back.
Hi, I'm Derek Stroman from the new talk show called Speak Your Mind. I have a great show lined up for you with my co-host Jimmy Zane and my featured guest host P. Hill Gutter in his segment called A Moment of Realness. On Speak Your Mind, we're asking you to do just that. I have a wonderful lineup of comedians, skits, and just a ton of interesting topics to keep listeners interested in our show. We'll have trivia questions, prize giveaways, gift certificates, and so much more. Speak Your Mind is backed by my company called Stroman Entertainment, which showcases a whole slew of entertainment, from comedy to music bands, murder mystery to drag queen shows, and also available to hire for private parties, weddings, and so on. This is not just entertainment, this is Stroman Entertainment. Log on to my website, StromanEntertainment.com. Remember to listen to Speak Your Mind on Talk Radio 680 WCBM, Saturday, midnight to 1 a.m.
It's brand new and improved. The WCBM mobile phone app, powered by Aircast, now available for download for your Droid, Apple, and Amazon devices. Stream WCBM anywhere on your smartphone or tablet. Check out audio on demand to listen to your favorite local shows or interviews. Text, email, or call your favorite local shows. Follow WCBM on Twitter and like us on Facebook. It's out with the old and in with the new. Download the WCBM 680 new mobile phone app today and stay connected.
All right, we're live again, y'all.
And now more of Speak Your Mind with Derek Stroman and Jimmy Zane on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Callers, give us a call at 410-922-6680. The topic of discussion right now is, are local media outlets manipulating us instead of informing us? This program is brought to you in part by Vino's Bar and Liquors, located at 3811 North Point Road in Dundalk, Maryland. Visit them for all your liquor needs. Why pay more when you can go to Vino's Bar and Liquors in Dundalk, Maryland?
And to answer your question,
we're back.
Thank you too, Ron.
Did you hear that now?
Yeah, I definitely heard you that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You, man. That's our super producer, Mr.
Super producer
Ron Savage.
This is live.
And this is live. But yeah, Dan, I mean, let me answer your question here. And the answer from my perspective is, of course they are. That's what they're supposed to do. You know, I mean, when you have an outlet like that, and you can set up whatever you want to talk about, whatever topics. Nobody's in control, like you said, except for the 6 main corporations. Those are the only people who you really have to listen to. It's not like we call the station and say, "Hey, I'd like you guys to talk about this tonight on your station."
Yeah, but it's not so much the subject matter, but are they manipulating some sort of outcome that they want us to do?
Yes. Again, the answer is yes.
And is that healthy for our democracy? I would say no.
Well, it is not. But what do we do to prevent it? But become enlightened about what they're trying to do. That is what we do. That's basically, you know, it's almost like you know, a child trying to get away, be sneaky around his parent. It's the same thing. Oh, I gotta. Mom's watching, Dad's watching. Let me tiptoe around it. Maybe I won't be noticed. It's the same thing, just in a bigger type of stature. You're talking about television, radio, it's media outlets, things that we turn on, just like the show in particular, and you listen and you say,
Right. Well, entertainment's one thing, but the news is supposed to inform us and have a watching eye on those in positions of power and influence. And I would once again state that it seems like those in positions of power and influence have co-opted even the local media now, and are using it to manipulate us, as opposed to having them watch what those people in positions of power and influence are doing.
We believe what we see too much.
Right.
If you see it on TV, you automatically believe it. And I'm not speaking for everybody.
Do you know why?
Right.
Explain, P. Hillgutter.
You know, I had to say something though, as far as why we're so susceptible to believing what we see. How many times, have you guys actually heard or actually seen any of the cover stories on some of the local networks or national networks, right, that made a story during Sweeps Week about subliminal messaging during advertisements?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So pretty much, there you have it. Like, just think about it. Like, if you, and it only takes probably like a fraction of a second, probably not even a nanosecond, where those words, it's called programming. You know?
Yeah, but in a democracy, do you program your citizens or inform them?
Yeah, you condition their minds through subliminal messages to have a certain way of thinking. You condition their minds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I would say that we are conditioned, but not in a good way.
And programmed. No, we're not. So therefore, when certain issues and topics come up, like, a lot of us, it's kind of like the movie that they put in our faces called The Matrix.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Where you either take the blue pill or the red pill. You want to wake up or you want to stay asleep.
Right. Now, I was kicking around another topic to talk about this week. And what I really wanted to do was point out people's worn-out way of thinking. If I ask a particular question, everyone's mind is going to go to a particular subject.
Yes.
When in reality, I was thinking about something else. I don't know if I want to talk about it at this point, because I think I need to do a little bit more research. But
well, speak your mind, Mr.
Dan. Callers, call in 410-922-6680. Do you think that the local mainstream media is manipulating us or informing us?
And, my question, and I have a question just to counter your question, is that such a bad thing?
It's horrible.
As far as what?
Come on. Because we're being challenged to actually see past the hidden messages. What's wrong with that? Doesn't that tighten up your ability to utilize your brain? It's almost, I have these conversations with people all the time. It's like a parent that has to be a parent. So why are we trying to make it so easy for everything all the time? If you are a mother or a father, or you are a coach or in position of leadership, then be good at your job. Learn how to lead. Learn how to coach. Learn how to parent.
Okay.
It's
yeah,
okay.
But in a democracy, does the government lead the people, or do the people lead the government?
it's not supposed. It should be the other way around.
Yeah,
we should lead them.
We should lead them.
How much time we got?
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, though, that no, there isn't anything wrong with being enlightened or awakened, but sometimes in life you have to be careful about speaking the truth. You know what I mean?
How much time we got?
So truth is always based off of fact from something that you investigated. Otherwise, it's not really considered truth. But still, there's definitely nothing wrong with it, But again, it's a double-edged sword. Because like I said a few shows ago, that if I reveal the truth to you about something that you chose to ignore and be negligent about, it's a probability you may condemn me to that.
Did you really think Bill Clinton was going to step up on that podium and say, yes, I had sex with that young lady? No. They're going to lie. They're going to tell you things to make you search and find out.
But that's something a little bit different.
Yeah,
than
that's
the role of the media in our society to inform us so that we can hold the government accountable to the things that they're doing.
All right, well, let's pick this up, too. We got a caller on line 1. We got to take break, and her name is Andrea. We will talk to you, Andrea, when we come back. I'm sorry, Andre. Andre, we'll talk to you when we come back from break, all right? This is the Speak Your Mind show. Thank you for listening. The number to call is 410-922-6680.
A stalled out front will be the focal point for additional scattered shower storms for the rest of this weekend. For the overnight hours, scattered shower storms will taper off a bit. We are going to see areas of fog, low 71 degrees. Early fog for your Sunday. Then a straight shower thunderstorm possible early on. Better chances for scattered shower storms from late afternoon to the evening hours are high 92. Straight shower thunderstorm through the evening, then mainly clear overnight. Lows drop down to 71. I'm Todd Bork, the Weather Channel for Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Hi, I'm Derek Stroman from the new talk show called Speak Your Mind. I have a great show lined up with my co-host Jimmy Zane and my featured guest host P. Hill Gutter in his segment called A Moment of Realness. On Speak Your Mind, we're asking you to do just that. I have a wonderful lineup of comedians, skits, and just a ton of interesting topics to keep listeners interested in our show. We'll have trivia questions, prize giveaways, gift certificates, and so much more. Speak Your Mind is backed by my company called Stroman Entertainment, which showcases a whole slew of entertainment, from comedy to music bands, murder mystery to drag queen shows, and also available to hire for private parties, weddings, and so on. This is not just entertainment, this is Stroman Entertainment. Log on to my website, StromanEntertainment.com. Remember to listen to Speak Your Mind on Talk Radio 680 WCBM, Saturday, midnight to 1 a.m.
Ever notice that the last 3 letters in American spell can? Maybe that's why we want to say we can shop online. We can use free Wi-Fi, and we can give our social security number and other personal information to our bank if we want to. But the fact that we can do all of those things exposes personal information that can lead to identity theft. At LifeLock, we believe you have the right to be free to do everything you do every day. So we use proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a huge variety of identity threats. And we have a US-based team who work to resolve issues if your identity ever is stolen. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, you can live with more peace of mind. Membership starts at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. And if you become a LifeLock member now, you can get 10% off. Go to LifeLock.com and enter promo code AWARE. LifeLock.
It's brand new and improved. The WCBM mobile phone app powered by Aircast, now available for download for your Droid, Apple, and Amazon devices. Stream WCBM anywhere on your smartphone or tablet. Check out audio on demand to listen to your favorite local shows or interviews. Text, email, or call your favorite local shows. Follow WCBM on Twitter and like us on Facebook. It's out with the old and in with the new. Download the WCBM 680 new mobile phone app today and stay connected.
Hi, I'm Derek Stroman from the new talk show called Speak Your Mind. I have a great show lined up for you with my co-host Jimmy Zane and my featured guest host P. Hill Gutter in his segment called A Moment of Realness. On Speak Your Mind, we're asking you to do just that. I have a wonderful lineup of comedians, skits, and just a ton of interesting topics to keep listeners interested in our show. We'll have trivia questions, prize giveaways, gift certificates, and so much more. Speak Your Mind is backed by my company called Stroman Entertainment, which showcases a whole slew of entertainment, from comedy to music bands, murder mystery to drag queen shows, and also available to hire for private parties, weddings, and so on. This is not just entertainment, this is Stroman Entertainment. Log on to my website, stromanentertainment.com. Remember to listen to Speak Your Mind on Talk Radio 680 WCBM, Saturdays, midnight to 1 a.m.
And now more of Speak Your Mind with Derek Stroman and Jimmy Zane on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
And we're back here at Speak Your Mind. I'm your host, Derek Stroman, and P. Hill would like to say something to you all out there.
Yeah, hey, listeners. Thanks for tuning in. Introducing our new sponsor, Gary's Automotive and Performance. Located at 3808 North Point Boulevard. Feel free to give them a call at 410-284-3030. Come on now. You know you're tired of driving those buckets? You need reasonable financing? Well, going down, ask for Gary. Tell him the Speak Your Mind crew sent you, and he'll take care of you.
Yeah, Gary's great. I met him. He's actually done work on my car. I dumped a lot of money into that 2006 Volkswagen Passat, which I love so dearly. And they did a phenomenal job over there to keep that thing running, man. I've had it for a while. Those of you who know me know that I've had that car for a while, and I love it. And it is what it is. And thank you, Gary and Chrissy over there at Gary's Automotive for taking care of me and that vehicle. So they've been in business for 25 years, so I trust them. And I will be going back to them. Let's go to the phone lines here. We've had Andre patiently waiting. He's in Baltimore. Andre, are you with us?
Yep, still here.
Hey, what's happening, man? How you doing? Welcome to Speak Your Mind show.
Okay, thank you. What's your name again?
My name is Derek Stroman.
Derek, and the other guy?
In the studio tonight with us is P. Hill Gutter.
Hey.
To my left. To my right is documentary filmmaker, and then some, Mr. Dan Cosgrove. Jimmy Zane, he is another host here at the Speak Your Mind show. He, however, is in the hospital right now. He's doing fine. So
okay, so we got Jimmy and Derek, right?
Well, Jimmy's not here at the moment.
Derek and P.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I just want to comment on the subject matter. I think the subject matter was whether or not does the media have any bearing on the way the people in the United States, with that think or vote or whatever, something like that. And I just wanted to say that, yes, I think they have an impact, but I want to say that they only impact people who aren't that well informed. It's like, take the elections for an example and stuff. If the media is trying to sway Americans or people who have the right to vote, how about that in this country? If they're trying to sway them to vote for either Hillary or Trump, I think that the media does play a role. But for people like myself, who I consider myself well informed, and I try to look at things fairly and stuff, and I am a Democrat, but if you was to ask me whether or not should Hillary be president of the United States, I would tell you no. And if you ask me should Trump be president of the United States, I would tell you no. But and then if you ask me why, then I can run down a whole list of reasons why.
Oh, Andre, I have a question for you. Okay, yeah. You don't think that either of the major the two-party candidates should be president? Can you give the name of any of the other political parties of who they've nominated?
Okay.
Like like the Libertarians.
People who were running, but I can't.
Third-party candidates.
Okay, like independents.
Well, you've got the Libertarian Party, you've got the Green Party, you've got several other parties out there that the mainstream media never recognizes, never mentions. I totally agree. Yeah, so I actually believe exactly like you do. I'm not happy with either the Democratic candidate or the Republican, but the mainstream media, and I think this is part of their news blackout, they never mention any other candidates that are in fact running for president. They aren't giving the American people a different choice. They're saying this is all you get. And in fact, that's not all we get. There are other parties out there that have nominated other candidates for the president of the United States. Why won't the media, the mainstream media, educate us about these other candidates? Because I think if they did, our democracy would look a little different.
I got a question
for you. I totally agree with you.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Andre, it's Andre, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got a question. My question is, they consider the media liberal driven. So as a registered Democrat yourself, do you feel as though the media is biased towards liberals? I mean, do you put the two in the same category? Do you say I am a registered Democrat, I am a Democrat, but I am also a liberal? Is that your thinking on that? Do you when you turn on the news, do you feel as though the news is supporting your party more than it supports Republicans and conservatives?
I think that the news media is not giving. Let's say I'm a Democrat, liberal-minded.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the media isn't giving my party and other parties equal seating in the spectrum, because for I don't know, various reasons. Maybe their purse isn't big enough.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe their ties to environmental and political and industrial, associations isn't that strong. But like you guys are saying, though, we would look more of a democracy if all parties were given a fair shot. I couldn't agree with you guys even more.
Well, my last question to you, because we do have to run off here, get to some other callers, but I guess basically I'm getting ready to ask you, so are you telling us that you are not going to vote this election?
I was kind of thinking you guys were going to head around to
yeah.
To
well,
that
yeah,
question,
you kind of felt it coming.
If I vote for Trump, this is the guy, that I'm telling you, one thing I can say about Trump is that he definitely means what he says. So if we make him president, don't start crying now, because the guy definitely is going to take us to war. The guy is definitely going to start kicking Mexicans and everybody else out of the country and things like that.
I'm going to leave you with this. And then please feel free to call the Speak Your Mind show again. We really appreciate your call. But this is a fact, and I'm going to state it just like this. We have a such thing called checks and balances. One of my main supporting statements whenever I debate with somebody is there is a time for liberalism and there's a time for conservatism, and it's just the way it is. That's why you have a Republican like Ronald Reagan, who a lot of people would say was great, and others would say, not so great. And then you have somebody that comes in like Bill Clinton. Okay, some people say he was great during his 8-year tenure, and some people say he was not so great. And there was a lot of things that manifested during his administration. So you just have to take it as it comes. That's why we have checks and balances. Okay, so Andre, thank you for the call. Please feel free to call in again.
Derek, I just want to add something.
Sure.
Here. I think there are a lot of people out there that aren't satisfied with Trump or Clinton and are asking themselves whether they should even vote. I would say, listeners, please go out there and vote. When you go to vote, you're going to find that there are more than just two people running for the presidency of the United States. And when you vote for those third parties, you make them stronger. I know the Libertarians want to get 3% of the popular vote, and if they get less than that, they're going to consider that a failure. If they get more than that, then they're going to consider that a big boost to their political party. But please vote. If you don't like the candidates that are being shoved in your face by the mainstream media, check into the other parties that are out there and vote for them.
Yeah, but also keep in mind that this millennial generation are not programmed to do so. Their minds are not conditioned to do so. They're too hung up on social media. And also keep in mind, listeners, that when you do your homework, regardless of whoever the presidential candidate may be, they're just a front man for what really goes on behind doors. All they are is just a face to put behind the main primary power as far as what I really can't go too far in depth because the FCC, which is a federal regulated entity that regulates the media, which what we're doing right now, they're always listening. So
there are other people.
I apologize, people.
There are other people pulling the strings. I agree with you there, P. Hill. Let's go ahead and take Robert in Middle River. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Welcome to the Speak Your Mind show.
Fine, thank you. There's two very important books. The first one is excellent. Many books have been written on advertising manipulation, but these are the best. The first one's called The Persuaders. It's out of England. It's brand new.
I've heard of that.
Okay, and what it actually does is it knocks the book Nudge, which has been out for a long time now. And that book is a behavioralist Washington think tank book. And basically that book calls us all Homer Simpsons, every single one of them.
I want that book.
Yeah,
sounds like a good book.
Really
Okay,
both of them because I think you should read in reverse order, The Persuaders first, because then the other one's easier to read because you understand exactly where they're coming from.
Yeah, and thanks for that insight.
Okay, and of course, the books don't mention. Nudge doesn't mention the $2.7 billion that Reagan took out of Social Security in 1983.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, which actually make it broke. It doesn't have 80 years left. It has no years left.
Yeah, that kind of reminded me of what our former governor did in order to charge us rain tax to put back into the state fund.
Yeah, and what the caller just mentioned about Social Security being broke, this goes back to the whole retirement crisis that we have in the United States. And why is the media not talking about it?
They're not supposed to.
Because they want us to work longer, number one.
Exactly.
And they want us to. They basically say we can do nothing for ourselves in these books, and government has to do everything for us.
You're right.
Caller, what's your name again?
Rob.
Rob, I am so impressed with you. Please call into the show more often. This is great information.
Now hold that thought. I just want to add to Rob's point. Also, keep in mind that usually that's how it goes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's how it goes, because those baby boomers, if they were to all retire anytime soon, it's in trouble. We're in trouble.
And there's one more thing.
Because they don't have enough money to pay them. You know what I mean?
Even good-meaning organizations like MADD uses this psychological advertising on us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, subliminal messaging.
Rob,
they spent over $1 billion on that.
Do you mind if I ask how, your age, or around your age? How old?
60.
You're 60? Okay. Because to me, you're coming off like a very bright, sharp college guy.
It's taken me a long 15 years of reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes about that long.
Well, Robert, we have to go to break. This has been a very intriguing phone call. We would really appreciate it if you would call in more often.
And one more thing. If you read the AA 20 questions, they're written in absolutes, and science is not an absolute.
No, it isn't. That's why they created stuff like biomimetics.
Okay, well, thanks again for the phone call, Robert. Yes, please.
Yeah, please call in
in
again.
Absolutely.
What a great caller.
Yeah. We have to take a break, WCBM listeners. Call in to WCBM Talk Radio 680. The number to call is 410-922-6680.
Listen to what Dave Ryan says about Andro 400.
Andro 400, I really love it. It's amazing to me that I feel so good. I've lost 50 pounds. I was a size 38 waist. I've gone down to a 32 waist. My mood has changed. I don't get stressed out. It gave me so much more energy. Energy to walk. Energy to play sports. Everything is starting to work again. It feels like I'm 25. My wife is happy. I'm so happy. I'm a completely different man. I'm taking this stuff to the grave with me.
Have you lost energy and gained belly fat? Are you feeling stressed out? Fight back with Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to increase your testosterone. For over a decade, Andro 400 has helped men lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel 20 years younger. Go to andro400.com, andro400.com, or call 888-400-0435, 888-400-0435.
Hi, I'm Derek Stroman from the new talk show called Speak Your Mind. I have a great show lined up for you.
I'm gonna need a cue
with my co-host Jimmy Zane and my featured guest host P. Hill Gutter in his segment called A Moment of Realness. On Speak Your Mind, we're asking you to do just that. I have a wonderful lineup of comedians, skits, and just a ton of interesting topics to keep listeners interested in our show. We'll have trivia questions, prize giveaways, gift certificates, and so much more. Speak Your Mind is backed by my company called Stroman Entertainment, which showcases a whole slew of entertainment, from comedy to music bands, murder mystery to drag queen shows, and also available to hire for private parties, weddings, and so on. This is not just entertainment, this is Stroman Entertainment. Log on to my website, StromanEntertainment.com. Remember to listen to Speak Your Mind on
No, that's what I said.
680
When you sit down, so go ahead.
Saturday, midnight.
He's dead on, but brand new and improved. Easier to navigate and features more stories and news than ever before. WCBM.com should be part of your daily routine. Stream us from your PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone at WCBM.com.
Yeah, that was right. Both of you guys, because I've had separate conversations with both of you about subject matter. And, I knew that caller was dead on. I mean, I seen your eyes light up, and I seen Phil's eyes light up.
Now more of Speak Your Mind with Derek Stroman and Jimmy Zane on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Hey people, welcome back to the Speak Your Mind show. I'm P. Hill Gutter, right along with the host, the man, Derek Stroman. Also, I got to mention Gary's Automotive and Performance. People, if you're tired of driving those buckets and you need affordable and reasonable financing, go on down, ask for Gary. Tell him the Speak Your Mind crew sent you. They're located at 3808 North Point Boulevard. Feel free to give them a call at 410-284-3030. That's Gary's Automotive and Performance. Now, I got to give you a moment of realness, to touch light on, a few things out of the box from what the mainstream topic is right now at hand. And it's just a question for the ladies. I'm sure some of y'all have to be listening, anywhere from 50 on down. Now, to get it started, I'm just curious. It's basically about a woman's intuition, because I've had this discussion with a few friends and family members that are women that, somewhat did not provide me with a manual. Unfortunately, as we grow up and get older, right, a lot of, will actually considered a thought as far as like, you know, having a manual to understand the opposite sex, which of course really isn't going to happen. Your manual will be like your auntie, your uncle, your father, your grandfather, whoever that, guardian may be, or somewhat social influence. So anyway, I'm just curious, ladies, is it true? I mean, when it comes to a woman's intuition, is it true that you possess the ability to determine good relationships from the bad? Because I feel as though if that were true, you probably wouldn't be in any of the bad situations that you had. To me, that's just it's just BS.
How much time is allotted to discover this? You know,
usually they say, "Well, yeah, I can tell." I've heard this from so many women. So, yeah, when I talked to this guy, when I met him, I could tell within a matter of minutes that he was going to do this, or I felt this way about him. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? If that really were true, then you would not be in any of those bad situations. Because if that were true, you'd really be able to tell, you know, a horse from a zebra within the first 5 minutes, which you claim that's intuition.
I don't think we give each other enough credit.
I
think that a lot of our situations are not being calculated enough. A lot of us use each other as rebounds. I mean, this is factual stuff, and you don't always know right away either.
Right, because it puzzles me from time to time. If that were true, then usually when I'd see a woman, when I was single, when I would see a woman, I'd be like, "Oh, girl, she had a nice body." I'm like, "Oh, hey, give her compliments or whatever." She cover up her gluteus maximus.
Right. Like
why cover it up? If you wear, something quite tantalizing and seductive, then it's like, you can't just put on a...
I was about to say, and I know where you're going with this, but if you're going to dress a certain way and you expect people not to look, and granted, I think in a woman's defense, I think that their thing is, well, that's the clothing. It's comfortable. That's the clothing that they choose to wear. Because they dress like that, that doesn't mean that a man.
But ladies, if you're wearing liquid, if they're wearing liquid pants,
right? I mean,
how dare they get upset if a man has his tongue fall to the floor, because it's like, that's like putting a piece of cheese in front of a mouse.
And understand this. I mean, let's just face it. There is a lot of men out there nowadays that don't like women anymore. Like,
yes, I'm sorry.
So come on, ladies.
I'm sorry to hear that, fellas.
Come on, ladies, give us the benefit of the doubt.
Give us the benefit of the doubt.
We're a dying breed.
It's not fair to put on. No offense to any woman, but I respect any woman first and foremost. We're not supposed to judge a woman by their clothing, but if you put on a professional's uniform, you dress like you're promiscuous. That's confusing, with your breast popping out your turtleneck. Like, come on.
Hey, I agree.
That makes no sense to me.
And
you know what I mean?
The funny thing is, P. Hill, we're both married men, happily married men, I would like to mention. But the fact of the matter is these things are going on, still exist. We're men. We look. I look. My wife knows I look. She looks. We all look. It's almost one of them things where you just turn and you happen to notice, and if you say "dang" or strike some questions or bring about some questions. But we got Chico on the line here. I wonder what Chico wants to chime in on. We've been talking about a lot here. Hey, what's up, Chico? How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, I could jump in that last subject alone. I've been married 3 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a rule. I don't do crazy. First rule. First sign of crazy, I'm out of there.
So what would be the sign?
Oh, I worked 6 years as a psych ward. I can figure it out.
Okay.
But, since we're talking about decisions, can I get back to the Trump
Feel free.
You got 20 seconds to do it, so let's see what your speed debate is all about.
Bleeped.
Say again?
We are bleeped. I mean, seriously, the first time I ever voted Democrat, I voted for Obama. Because I was walking up to the campaign, up to the polls, and the thought came in my stomach, and I said, I can't just vote for John McCain. You know, so I'm hoping that I have one of those miracle moments on the way to the poll, and I hope people do too, because this is one of the most important elections we're going to have in a long time.
We'll see you soon, man. You have a good one. Thanks for listening to the Speak Your Mind show. Good
Stay
night.
connected with stimulating talk and breaking news on Talk Radio 680 WCBM Baltimore and WCBM.com.
Clinton also telling a Youngstown crowd if Donald Trump wanted to make America great, he would employ more people in Ohio with manufacturing jobs. Clinton and running mate Tim Kaine also stumping earlier in Pennsylvania. Fox's Mike Emanuel on the campaign trail.
Concern for the Clinton campaign is Donald Trump appears to be connecting with white working-class voters here in the Rust Belt. So Clinton's running mate, Tim Kaine, is going after Trump's credibility.
The reason we shouldn't believe even one word is he's got a track record of people believing him and then getting stiff and getting
you guys can actually see me behind the
scenes.
From
contractors that work on projects and do all the work and end up not getting paid and having to go bankrupt, to students who get bilked out of their dollars to get a worthless education from Trump.
Meantime, Donald responding to Kazir Khan, the speech at the DNC set social media ablaze. He blasted Trump for his call on a temporary ban on Muslims entering the U.S.
I saw him. He was, very emotional.
Khan's son was lost while fighting for the U.S. in Iraq.
If you look at his wife, she was standing there. She had nothing to say. Maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say.
Trump speaking to ABC this week. Khan says if Muslims were banned, his son, Humayun, would not have been able to make the ultimate sacrifice. Floodwaters rising overnight in Maryland.
It was about up to my chest. The water was taking people down the street. They were trying to fight the current.
That man in Ellicott City, about 15 miles west of Baltimore, several cars swept away as roads turned to rivers. And someone nearly $500 million richer after Saturday's massive Powerball drawing. One winning ticket sold in New Hampshire. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Real experience, real insight.
We're following this explosive story.
Nothing gets by Greta. Then
this is all BS. What was that all about?
There's no spin and no question. O'Reilly dominates. Plus, smart, sharp, and cutting edge.
It's the news of the day, but with a little heat.
Megan delivers. And Sean seals the deal with fearless talk.
What part of that aren't you understanding?
Most watched, most trusted. Fox News Channel.
There's more to Fox News Radio than meets the ear. Go behind the headlines and join the conversation on the hottest stories of the day on the Fox News Radio Facebook page. Be a part of the Fox News Radio Facebook fan community. Post comments and tell us your opinions. See behind-the-scenes photos and videos and post your reactions to the stories that matter to you. Click the like button on Facebook and connect with breaking news and features like Fox in the Fast Lane, House Call for Help, and more. Go to facebook.com/Fox News Radio.